Welcome to another episode of the Cat Mac Show, where we talk about anything that matters. And let me tell you, sometimes things are going to come out of the woodworks, and sometimes things are just going to flow. And if they do and they don't, it's okay. My mission is to showcase women that have a story to tell that you can learn from and will empire? What was I thinking? Empower you. See what I mean? It's that time of night. It's like 7 o'clock here in Melbourne. And to empower you to do more. So the power of the interweb is amazing because I've got Loretta Lee that is in England. She is a dream builder. Yes, that is correct. She will empower you to do more and will help you make your ish come true. Why? Because she's done it before. Just saying. She's also a life mastery consultant. And boy, does Loretta Lee have a story to tell. So Loretta, I'm going to put the mic over to you. Introduce yourself. Tell me a little bit about yourself. And I'm going to be asking you one question in a second.
Okay, I'm Loretta. I'm a mom, an entrepreneur, I'm a carer, and I'm a coach. And women entrepreneurs hire me to empower them to unleash the potential. We have lots of them. Scale the business and become successful in their niche because they're sick and tired of inconsistent cash flow being the best kept secret. We women are like that. We like to keep a low profile, and not having the impact they desire. So I help them to grow their business with ease, build high impact and increase profit and growth exponentially. And I help them to be clear about what's that makes them happy, and take the action towards that and increase profit and actually make themselves, happy in their personal and their family life as well.
Yeah, you said something really interesting. You said the best kept secret.
Yes.
Because you've just told me that you're a mum, you're a carer, you're a female entrepreneur.
Yep.
Which is in itself, it's like a big, massive thing. How do you juggle it all and help another business grow? I want to know that secret.
Yeah, it's not an easy secret. It's when I had my big business, I mean, big means like 7 figures in Malaysia. I did it while I haven't had children at that time. When I had my children, it was already quite well. So I was able to organize my business in such a way that I don't need to be there. I have a good team. And to build a good team, we need to show leadership. Showing leadership is by what we do and also the culture that we want to have in our company. A culture of openness, a culture of trust, a culture of efficiency, a culture of recognizing people who are good, a culture of having people to be honest, a culture of having people to come to me when they have issues. So I think it's very important for any company, whether it's, of course, you need to have a few people in a company to have that culture. If not, it's your own culture.
Irrespective.
Yes.
Your customers are your culture as well.
Yeah. So what you bring, the culture is actually dependent on you if you're the top leader, or dependent on the GM or the CEO, or the president of the company, as you call it in US. So it's very much dependent on the person who's leading it and how the person wants to build that company based on the values, that the person has. So it always boils down to the top. And if you want to have a company that you can take time off, you can trust the staff, you better start doing that as well to set the stage.
What you just said makes me goosebumps because I think you're absolutely right. I think leading a team is not easy. Leading a team, not many people teach it. However, a team can be 2 to 3 people. A team could be 5 people. It could be 100. And leading from the top, when people get to the top, and people in this online world, offline, online, it doesn't matter, they get to the top so quickly. Do you find that they forget what it's like to be in the front line? Because you've just said you got to lead from the top.
Yes.
Absolutely.
But I don't know about other leaders, but I find myself always like with my staff doing stuff together at times, and I got some feedback said, oh, my boss is okay. You should go and speak to Miss Lee. We are very, very formal, like in the 80s. No, if you got any problems, speak to Miss Lee. She'll help you. I overheard some of my staff telling me, telling another colleague, you see. So I think I've built up quite a lot of trust by being open and by being admitting that sometimes things don't go right, and we have to take
Yep.
responsibility for that. And I've made a lot of mistakes. Way,
What
lot
you
of
mean?
mistakes.
Hang on a second, Loretta. You mean you're not perfect?
Of course, we are all not perfect. We are great. We are perfectly imperfect.
We are perfectly imperfect. I
Yes.
absolutely love that. We are perfectly imperfect. And
Yeah.
I'm glad that you honor that, because building a brand, building a business, doing everything that you do, it's not easy. And you have fallen on your face, I dare say, to become imperfectly perfect, perfectly imperfect. So we talked about earlier that challenges of, I'm just going to go out and say it before we got on. We talked about doing so much, and we talked about, oh my God, sometimes. So Loretta pulled it out of the hat and she said, what did you tell me just before we got on?
I can't remember.
Okay, so basically Loretta said, you said to me, I've got to stop. I've got to stop
Yes.
giving
The
so
reason
much.
I said that is it is related to my work because I was so focused, tunnel vision. There was one author, one Japanese author, I can't remember. He's talking about tunnel vision. So then I realized myself, I'm so tunnel vision. I'm very, very focused on what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And then every day I wake up, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And compounded by the time when I have children and being a marriage, things just simply multiply in themselves. The things that we got to do as a woman,
Uh-huh.
the house, the baby, the children, relationship, blah, blah, blah. And then we're giving so much to everybody, giving so much to our staff because we want to support them, because that's us, nurturing. We give so much to our relationship. We give so much to our children. We have to take care of the household. And I felt at one time that I didn't know how stressed I was until I told my husband, look, I feel like an old woman. When I walk, I feel like I got to bend a bit, but I didn't actually bend, but my muscle was telling me, I feel so old, I can't move. So I was looking for somebody to help me, chiropractor, and then somebody said, hey, there's one osteopath that's very good. And she was the only one that everybody knows in where I live, Kuala Lumpur, Petaling Jaya, Subang Jaya. So I went to see her, and then, as usual, before she starts, we got to fill up the form. What are you how happened to you, how many children you have, blah, 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 blah. Then she asked me, what's the issue? And she looked through my file, the questionnaire. Then I told her how I felt. I said, I feel like this, I can't, my muscles are so like this, like that. And then after that, she says, okay, you go down. And she did some work on me. She says, you know what? You're very stressed. I said, am I? He said, yes, you're stressed. You have a lot of things going on. I said, yeah, I have a lot of things. I said, I'm okay. He said, your mind tells you to be okay. You listen to your mind, but your body is telling you. Your body is stressed, but your mind is trying to cancel it out. And you tell myself, I keep on going, I keep on going, I keep on going. But the body is telling you. And then I realized, oh my gosh, that's so true. So I have to have several sessions with her, and then I start to feel better. And later on, I decided to go and see a naturopath. There was one new starting naturopath. So I went to see her, and she looks at my iris. She does iris, the eye reading.
Iridology. Yeah.
I don't know what you call it.
The iris thing.
I said, okay, let me see what she did. Oh my God, what did you do to yourself? I said, what? You are so stressed. You are so stressed. You really need to stop what you're doing now. Your body is telling you to stop stressing yourself. And then I realized that, oh my God, sometimes we are so tuned into our motivational, our positive thinking, our not to give up, keep on going and keep on fighting. It's good to a certain extent, but then I realized, okay, we must listen to our body, and we have to stop giving to all those external demands and take care of ourselves. And you know what? Then she says, are you having like constipation? I say, yeah. Are you having this? I say, yeah. So she prescribed some aloe vera juice and whatever I've got to do in the morning and evening, blah, blah, blah. And some muscles, like, not muscles, some things that I can do to my endowment. And she gave me some things to drink and all that. And it helped. It helped a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it helped a lot. And that's the time when I really realized that I think I'm taking care of my body. I did all the things. I'm a very health conscious person. I take supplements and all that, but I'm not listening to what my body actually needs and what I'm doing to myself. If we don't listen to what we're doing to ourselves and taking all the things that is necessary when we think that we need that, But no, we are the one that's actually, causing all the problems without knowing it.
Yeah.
And I think there's a phrase called something about positive, I don't know, toxic positivity. There's a term.
Toxic positivity. Yes, that's true.
Yes.
Toxic positivity.
To
And
myself. I'm doing it to myself, So I
I
realized that.
do. So
Yeah.
was that a pivotal moment in your life where was that a trigger? Did that trigger you to make the change?
Yes, I became more not so demanding on myself,
Yeah.
especially.
Yeah.
I
And
don't demand that much from others compared to me demanding me out of myself.
so a question for you.
Yeah.
Because I understand you have a lot going on, and how do we deal with a person that is in our immediate realm that you've just said, you know what, buddy, boundaries, and they're like, whoa, what are you talking about? What do you mean? You've been doing this forever. How do we deal with that situation? Because I'm going to be transparent and say that's happened to me as well. I'm a product of that as well. How do you deal with that personality type? Because ultimately, you want to be able to be a better person for yourself. Because otherwise, if you don't help yourself, you're going to crash and burn. So you're going to get people that are going to go, what do you mean? You're not doing everything, but you used to. How do we deal with that?
I think the most difficult part is myself to have that strength, to have that determination to stop doing, to stop giving. And it takes a long time because we're so ingrained. Oh, this is something, okay, I can do it. There's something I can do. And it affects the relationship with your partner. You are the one who's giving, and also it affects the relationship with my special needs daughter. So when I started doing that, it was difficult. I have to stop one small thing at a time. And then I forget, I still keep on doing it. So it takes me about a year or so. And you know what triggered that? What triggered me to stop giving? I was in the supermarket one day, and this supermarket put on their, the radio show or whatever. And there was this psychiatrist from somewhere, and then he says, in any relationship, the person who's going to lose the most is the person who invested the most. If everything goes wrong, went wrong, the person who's going to lose most is the person who invested the most. And it makes sense.
Totally.
It makes sense.
It totally does.
Yeah. And if you look at relationships, sometimes you will see that one of them are not actually putting in effort. And the person who is putting in effort is actually so stressed, so run up. And the person who is not putting the effort is not putting in the effort. It's very easy to leave because there is very little investment. And if you're the person who's been working on it, it's difficult to live because you've invested so much of your time and effort. And I think that's very important for all women to be aware of that, in any relationship, whether your partner is a woman or not a man or whatever.
What you just said is a really valid point because it's not just in relationships. It's actually, it's actually in business and life as well.
Yes, true. Now that you say it, I realized that I was working with a partner in Singapore and said, oh, we need to do, okay, then I'll do this on my side. Then I'll do this on my side. I'll do this on my side. I just take it up and do it and then realize it. And later on I said, why am I doing this? He should be doing it, So we just take on too much on ourselves.
We do take on. So that would have been a massive trigger for you to go, I'm just changing this. And I think a really valid point is you said a little bit at a time. And for those out there that are looking and going, oh my God, I'm just going to cut everyone cold turkey. You probably can. However, it isn't that easy. It's exactly what you said. It's honor the fact that you're doing it a little bit at a time, because as females, and I'm just purely talking about the female form, we can tend to be so hard on ourselves.
Correct. Yes, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
So doing a little step every single time moves the needle.
Yes, just a bit. And long enough, you'll be finding yourself, oh, I'm quite free. Like right now, to be honest, there are things happening around me which I just can't be bothered. And I've told myself, I'm not going to touch it.
Yes.
Like,
don't do it. Yeah.
Yeah, don't do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just don't do it.
It took me forever to learn that. It took me forever to learn that. And I'm still learning it.
I know.
And I'm still, sometimes I struggle and I'm still learning it. Still.
It's always like, it's either you put up, let's say it's a mess, it's either you put up with a mess or you clean it. Both of it has also got its own stress. You don't want to clean it, it's there, it's stress. You clean it, it's also stressed.
That is so true. So tell me something. What is one tip that you can give for somebody out there that wants to just pivot and want to go for broke, and there's so much going on in their world and they just don't know, should they not? What's one tip you can give that somebody can take away?
I think most importantly is what would you want? What would make you happy in the first place? Do things that makes you happy. If you are doing things that doesn't make you happy, maybe you can do it for a short term. Let's say you want to have a lot of money short term. You do all you can to get the money. But then after that, you'll be thinking, what am I doing? Is it in line with what I'm meant to be? Does it make me happy when I do these things? Like, for example, I've wanted to be a coach for a long time since I came over here, but I've just started. And when I'm coaching and I look through all my assets and I say that, okay, people say that I'm generous, I never give up, I'm very inspiring, the way I took my daughter through this special needs education, blah, 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 which was like, oh gosh, it's like a full-time job.
But it is a full-time job and you're doing an amazing job.
Yeah, it's a full-time job. And all mothers are like, because it is unconditional love, we have to do it. I wouldn't say we have to. We just willingly do it, but it's very stressful. So, and then I told myself, I've got a business before. I've built up a team before. I've coached people before, although not as a business of coaching. I've done it. My company has grown. And why shouldn't I be doing it? It's something that I love and it pays even more than what I used to do as like a food, trying out my hobby. So I told myself, yeah, I'm going to do it. Yeah. And when I do it, I feel that when I speak to my clients, and after that, I feel so happy. I really feel happy that I'm able to contribute to their well-being, contribute to their growth. And I think as women, it's quite nurturing in that sense. It's in us to nurture.
Yeah, that is so true.
Yeah. So I feel that I'm so happy. That's the most important thing.
Do what lights you up, because a lot of us don't do what lights us up till we get burnt.
Yeah.
And then we learn.
Yes.
So I think that's a really valid point. Do what lights you up. Do what you need to do to make money. And when you do what stuff that you need to do to light you up, you will make money as well, because money is the medium of exchange.
Yeah, because you can do good and make money at the same time.
Yes. And you're a product of that. Absolutely.
You too. I can see that. And you're doing it.
I am.
A lot of women.
I am. I won't lie. I do. I get paid to do what I do and I love what I do. So, showcasing you lights me up.
Thank you. Speaking to you lights me up because you're so cheerful and full of sunshine. The Aussie sunshine compared to London. No, UK.
Thank you so much, Loretta. Thank you so much for coming on. I will have you on again. All the links down below as per usual. It's such an honor because you have so much wisdom.
Thank you.
Have an awesome morning, awesome afternoon, awesome evening. Bye for now.